Right, onwards into the unknown. Really, I'm just far too used to using the morph ball to get through small holes. I know why they gave us sliding to start things off, but still, the morph ball is one of Samus's signature details in this franchise. Not having it is always somehow... It just somehow always feels wrong, even if we start off without it in most of the games. And in the other games, it is among the first things we get, assuming we didn't have it right from the start. I'm not saying it's downright terrible that we don't have it this many clips into the game, just that it's thrown me off a little considering all the other Metroids we've gone through by the time I got to this particular LP. And there are plenty of other minor details that have been throwing me off here at the start, some of which I might not know about well enough to call out. Still, even with all my bitching so far, I am loving what we're seeing and doing, for the most part. Well, we certainly aren't leaving this corner the same way we came in. Not much that needed to be refilled, but hey, the station was there, and we don't know just how rough things are gonna get as we keep going through the unknown. Especially since, in a number of instances in this game, I have let Samus down. Something that will probably continue as the game goes on. It's just one of those little side effects when a game decides to have cutscenes where the main character is downright amazing, but the player is only decent, not amazing. So the hero visibly loses confidence whenever the player's at the wheel, which is for most of the game. One of the simplest ways to deal with that kind of issue is to just choose not to have cutscenes where the hero does all that much. Kinda like with Halo Combat Evolved. As opposed to what we saw there with Samus as she finished off the boss in the previous clip. But just saying that makes me feel guilty because I genuinely loved that cutscene. And we might have seen some other awesome moves if I'd managed to hit the counter button at the right time in that same fight. Samus has never moved so smoothly before. And even as familiar with the Metroid series as I am, the alterations to the usual tricks, gimmicks, and mechanics do take some getting used to in each game. And we've got plenty of hours to get our bearings in this one. Great! Those crates in the background make me wish I could interact with them. Which, of course, reminds me that there are plenty of role-player games I'd like to eventually comment on. All of them obscenely long to the point I doubt I'll be able to get through them all within my lifetime. Not unless I outright upload my consciousness into a machine in order to keep doing Let's Plays. Sorry about that, just a random thought as we're going through a relatively quiet moment in the game. Tempting to just stay here and keep grabbing energy until we're back to full. Still, while we're technically not in a hurry, I'd still prefer to get a move on. I'm pretty sure that light means the next room is going to be boiling. There's got to be other doors in this shaft, so time to keep on looking. There's no way to stop the things that come out of the walls in this game, just like in the older games. But for some reason in this game, I feel like I'm more likely to try clearing things out even when I consciously know that's not actually possible just yet. Maybe because everything looks so damn wonderful that, well, it just feels more possible to do things, like when I tried to jump on that damn tail in that boss fight. Anyway, fresh Emmy sector, which means we're dealing with the third of the damn bots. Where the other two were white, this one is green for some reason. Nice to get a cutscene confirmation that the cloak works against these things, but again, I would have preferred dealing with them less frequently. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't think the Emmys are downright terrible in this game. They really make you have to plan out how you're going to get from point A to point B more carefully, and force you to change your plans quite a bit around here. Unfortunately, I have two major issues at the moment, one of which might correct itself as the game keeps going forward. The correctable issue is that while Samus has never moved more smoothly than in this game, I am still stumbling about, since this is still pretty early. And those robots are very much unforgiving. You make a mistake, no matter how minor, and you're gonna be just as dead as if you stripped yourself naked and dived straight into that spike. They don't make the game less fun overall, and frankly, part of me loves the fact that outside of the first Emmy, the game doesn't get obscenely hand-holding when dealing with them. But, still, they make that first run daunting. And while I'm sure I get a lot better at evading the things as the game goes on, the fact that I got crabbed so often in the first playthrough of the game just makes subsequent playthroughs of the game on its own feel just that bit more intimidating. And, especially since I take a while to return to one of these games. They are not the kind of absolutely cheap obstacle that the Jackal Snipers from Halo 2 on Legendary can be. And even though we face plenty of them in this game, I still always feel satisfied with each one we take down. Even if I say their air of danger is nullified a bit by the fact that we have to destroy half a dozen of them from start to, I'd say, somewhere around the 3/4 mark. It's that starting helplessness that I despise, and the fact that we were outright told the cloak would be useful, and I am not using it well. So if anything, I'm dying more often now that I have it than when I didn't. I have not cut a single death from these robots out of this playthrough so far, and I probably won't for the rest of the playthrough. Though, I'd say the sheer number of times they've killed me more than proves that they are very frustrating for me to deal with to an obscene degree. And part of that frustration is my second issue, one that's been an issue for me for the entire 2D Metroid series. I am absolute garbage at memorizing two-dimensional environments, which means when I'm trying to evade the enemies, I generally do not give a damn where I go, so long as it feels for a moment like I'm trying to get away from the things that keep killing us over and over again. So when you combine not being especially smooth with the controls when first getting into the game, with not being able to remember layouts that well as you're dealing with a monster like this, and let's just add in the fact that the cloak is not helping me as much as it should, partly because I don't seem to know how to use it well yet. Yeah, I am getting fucked. Repeatedly. To the point where I'm pushing through out of sheer stubborn determination than anything else. That's fine for a first playthrough and very, very worth talking about. And again, I'm not saying this game is terrible. Just that I am far more likely to replay other 2D Metroid games. Even the 3DS game, which uses many of the same mechanics. And it's all because of a combination of the robots and my own clumsiness. Again, I'm hoping that people are enjoying this playthrough, even though I'm not especially skilled at the game. Nor was I skilled with the other 2D Metroids that came before it. It's been a fun ride through this part of the franchise, and I'm very much looking forward to the 3D part of it with Metroid Prime. Eventually. Yeesh, just 5 parts into this game, and I'm pretty sure I've died more often than in the previous 4 games combined. Maybe I... Screw that, I'm just gonna start fast-forwarding through some of these Emmy deaths, simply because there are so damn many, and there's not much I can say other than the damn things are frustrating to me, and it's just sad that it keeps happening like this. Ugh. It's not that I'm incapable of learning from my mistakes, it's that the way I seem to change things up from one attempt to the next doesn't seem to be helping, and, I'm just ramming my head into a wall and hoping I get lucky here. I'm not going to outright cut the footage, considering this is explicitly a big part of the whole Metroid Dread experience. They outright advertised the Emmys and all that a hell of a lot. But I think I'm justified in hoping that the next 2D Metroid does not use anything quite like these robots ever again. I certainly hope it's been fun watching my suffering. Certainly more fun than it is for me going through it. Bloody hell, I need a drink. Maybe being drunk will help me relax enough to stop running into the damn thing over and over again here. Right, so cloaking does nothing to prevent that thing from shutting behind us. Not that I was expecting it to, but, vain hopes and all that. And we're finally out of there, for now at least. As a player, I most definitely need a good long break after that shit show I just performed. But as someone who's working on the commentary after the fact, I can still fit in another bit of raw footage, so I'm not actually done here yet for the day. But oh good god, do I wish I was stopping a day with this save point, considering the sheer number of times we've died so far. And I somehow doubt the next 7.5 minutes of raw footage are going to make me feel all that eager to keep on going and keep up the momentum. I'm pretty sure I'd rename this game from Metroid Dread to Metroid Frustration, since the emotion of frustration is stronger than the dread for me. Right, stayed in here to try healing as we slaughtered all the enemies here. Still not at full health because I took hits I didn't really need to. It's not surprising that I'm not avoiding the hits in here, but it's not encouraging for me to avoid the bloody robots, since we're undoubtedly gonna have to deal with that green one at least a few more times in this same damn clip. Well, that was predictable, but the peak did let us, see there's another thermal thing just above us that we can't seem to get to at the moment. Looks like it's gonna be more than a little awkward working our way around to it, but at least we kinda have a goal in mind. Oh, good god. For lack of a better option at the moment, we're going right back into the robots' patrol zone. Right, so we have absolutely no choice but to try to get through the small door the damn thing just came from. Are there any other potential ways for us to move forward? As a side note, I'm not sure why, but I think the maps we worked with in the older Metroid somehow felt better than the one in this one. For all I know, that's just my frustration with the robots bleeding into other aspects of this game, and my brain just wants to bitch constantly in order to bleed off the stress of dealing with the unstoppable machines that we can't hurt, but that can take us down instantly. I certainly can't see, or say anything right off the top of my head that I specifically don't like about the map. And again, I can't help feeling this game doesn't really need, that log thing there. Especially funny, since I feel like the best part of the Metroid Prime games are the bits of lore and other things we can read as the games go on. not even sure why I walked back in there. If there's some clever way to move forward from here, I certainly can't find it, which means I have no choice but to brute force my way through the robots area again, when brute force has most definitely proven to just plain not work well when dealing with those things. Ugh. Really wish I could stop feeling guilty for not enjoying this part of the game, but it is what it is. It's not like I can pick and choose what emotions to feel about what thing. Seems the robot is feeling a bit indecisive as well at this point. Wonder if that means the bastard wants to show us some mercy, or maybe just the game itself feels I've suffered enough for now. Ah, well, we managed to get across without any real trouble that time. Can't really find it in me to feel all that relieved, though. I'm too busy still trying to recover from the last massive number of deaths we went through in this same damn clip. Right, another room that's too hot for us to handle. Okay, so just walking into that device does nothing. Regular shots do something, but apparently heals pretty quickly after the damage to that button. Right, probably should have used the charge shot sooner. Am I allowed to use the excuse that my nerves have been shot to all hell? Kinda surprised that small tank didn't manage to hurt us there. Mostly because the past 5 clips have really done a number on my self-confidence. Yeah, there's a reason people have been saying this is the toughest Metroid game out there at this point. No matter how many you've gone through before it, it will not prepare you for this brutal mess. Well, at least we finally got to this switch. I suppose that's progress. And now that we've flipped another switch, time for us to find a good spot to save. Good God. I wish there was a better way to measure how much progress we make in this game. I just cannot tell if I'm embarrassingly slow to get anything done around here, or if I'm about average and pretty acceptable compared to how things went with the earlier games. All I know is that I've been getting nailed to the floor so often that Samus needs to just put an extra hole in her suit to accommodate those spikes constantly ramming into her. I doubt even porn has her get railed as often as I have in this clip alone. And when I'm so punch-drunk that I'm making a sex joke of that questionable quality, that's a good sign I need to call it a day. Here's hoping for a morale boost next time. See you.